Welcome back everyone to another career mode with Crewe Alexandra. We're moving into the third season now, and we did manage to get promoted last season, so that's all good. You can see we got 2.4 million as our season budget, and they've expected us to finish mid-table, which isn't too bad. So moving in, taking a look at the team, it's progressing very well. Our young players are doing well. Our two centre-backs we could do with replacing, and if you remember from the last episode, Tiam, there was a slight problem with him, so I need to replace him. I know he's still in the team, but it's when his contract runs out. We did go and put some players up for sale because we've got too many dead wood, really. And in terms of the competition, the pre-season tournament, we've obviously gone for the one that's going to give us the most money. We've won every one so far, so hopefully we can continue that up. I am going to go and look at some keepers now. So we've got Dragowski, Moreira, I think it's Gudinho, I'm thinking, and Drommel. Drommel's probably the worst in terms of ratings. A couple of these got suggested to me, and you can see that the keepers aren't too bad, but in terms of price, they're a little bit over what I can afford, really. So I want to get a striker as well, because Della Valle's a bit temperamental. So here's just a couple coming up there. Some good youngsters. They're all very young players, so I'm hoping to have higher potentials. And obviously, the younger they are, the better. And we did get an offer coming for Swanson, and it's just no. He's probably our best player. Now TM's gone, and just no. And you can see Dragowski there, not too bad. Gudinho, not too bad either. Cornet, pushing the boundaries a little bit, and he is affordable. So it all depends how much we have. These lot are all kind of affordable. I don't know. In terms of our pricing, maybe from the tournament we'll get a couple more, but you can just see these guys. Jesus Christ. They're just 29 million. No. They just automatically got forgotten. So looks like a young striker isn't on the agenda. And we did manage to win that game. So all good there. Hopefully we can win this tournament. Be very handy if we do. You see we're on top. We're going for Zivkovic here. He's a good player. I want to see how much he is. Donsa's a good player as well, but I reckon he'll be too expensive. Likewise, Amati, although he's from FC Copenhagen, I reckon he'll be too expensive. And Dele Alli. So a couple of these I'm looking to get on loan as well, maybe, because I think I won't be able to afford them. Although they are young players, 1 million doesn't exactly get you much nowadays, unless they are 60. 1 million will get you a good mid-60 player, I guess. And as you can see, they're all 10 million above, and that's not really happened yet. Maybe next year, if we can get promoted to the Prem, which will probably come straight back down, we might get a bit more money. And as you can see, we're getting rid of some of that dead wood. Keeper we don't want to get. We want to keep the keeper. He's not a bad rating, if you know what I mean. But jokes aside, we do need to get a backup keeper, because our second keeper is like 55 rated, which isn't good. Now, I had a look at this guy's stats, and he's pretty decent. Lucas Hernandez, I did want to look at, but he's on a wage of like 40,000, and I can't even afford that. So that's like the total sum of all mine put together. So there was a transfer offer for Della Valle, and currently we don't have a striker to replace him, so I can't let him go yet, even though it would be nice to get that much on the board. This guy was affordable. He was affordable, and then a couple of others were, but I only have enough money to go out and get one of them if I wanted to, not where I want to kind of spread it and get a couple of decent players. And we did unfortunately lose the second game, so that puts us on 3 points from 2 games, and I believe we need to in the next one to go through, so it's unfortunate. And as you can see, we've got another offer from Swanson, so I just said reject all offers, because I didn't expect to get one back, but hey ho. Yeah, we can. I think we can draw this and still get through. So, but it's home game, so fingers crossed. Maybe not. We drew 1-1. Not terrible. I think put us through. That's what we need. And I think this game we got a bit lucky with. I mean, our team's very good and should be winning these games, but yeah, 2-1. Although we did go, I think Dion Coles got sent off, so that's why I said we got a bit lucky, which isn't the best. I mean, I don't think we have a good right back. Like, Turton's not bad, but in terms of Coles, he's not really up there with the with them, and we managed to luckily win on penalties in the final. So that's one way to go out and win it. So that, I think that time, yeah, it nearly doubled our transfer budget, which is good. And I wanted to go get this guy, Iseka. So he looks very good for a 19-year-old, and I want to kind of try and keep our squad relatively young. This episode is a bit longer than the others because I am doing all this transfer. I'm scouting for players basically, whereas I didn't really do that too much in the others because I was limited with my money. Whereas this one, I have a lot of options. I know I've only got like 3 million, but that can go quite far when it comes to these players. And as you can see, the problem I have with most of these players is the wage budget. And I can't really afford people's wages if they're on like 20k, which is a slight problem. But we can try and get around it. And like I said, hopefully next year we can, if we get promoted, we can get something. Even if we could just get into the playoffs, I'll be happy. And I'm not too sure how Ganinski's doing. I think I'm probably, if not level with him, in terms of division, doing better than him. I'm not too sure. I don't really want to spoil it by making it too serious by keeping up to tabs with him. I'd rather just play along and see how it goes. You can see we've got rid of another player there, so still getting rid of all of them deadwood players, and we are looking at more players now. And these ones are the ones that I want to replace Tiam with, because I could have got him for like 350,000, but I didn't have the finances at the time, so it was a 2-year loan with a fee at the end, and getting him for 350,000 at that time would have been great. But because of the wage, like, he says he wasn't comfortable in his own country, he was comfortable in his own country, sorry, and even though he's played for me for 2 years, he apparently was settled in his own country, even though he was still playing for me at that time. FIFA just balls out. So I offered him over double what he wanted, and he still didn't accept it. So we do need to replace him, because I had a look at how much he was to go and get him again, and he was like 4 mil, if not, and they probably would have wanted more than that. But we do go into our first game of the season, and it's against Hull, which isn't exactly good. So I'm not expecting to win games like this. And as you can see, we did go 3-0 down, and luckily, well, I say lucky, it's not even lucky, we just pulled one back. Consolation goal, really. Alexis Blin as well. Another very good player that I wanted to try and get. I did go in for a couple on loan, but it didn't really work. None of them really want to let their players go on loan, which isn't the best. And this guy looks after these. I know he's only, well, I say only, he's 22, so he's a bit older than most of the others I'm looking at. But he's still got quite a bit of room for potential. And I think he'll be a good replacement for Tiam. So we're moving, cup game, Capital One Cup, Crewe v Wickham. We played Wickham last year, I believe. They got promoted last year. We got promoted this year, so we're not in their league anymore, thankfully. And the offers got turned down, so I had to offer a bit more there, which isn't too bad. We've got the money to go and do it, really. So it's just a matter of just trying to get players now. I definitely need the centre mid, which is why you see me going in again for him there. 20,000, I think he's now the player with the highest wage budget. But we really did need someone to come in and replace, because you can see we've got Bingham there, and we did lose to Notts Forest. We just need a bit of solidarity in the middle. And as you can see, we haven't won a game yet, which isn't really promising. We have played some tough teams, and somehow we managed to beat Ipswich, which was a very good result for us. And the contract offer was declined, so I had to up it a bit more. We went with 25, so I think he definitely is the highest paid player in the club so far. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. And we'd managed to get him accepted, so he's going straight in the team. I believe he was only 72 rated. 72 rated there, so he goes straight in, which isn't too bad. We've got a solid midfield, and I did want to look through the players here. As you can see, some of the players I went in for, I wanted to try and get that Iseka. So I went in and put in 2 million, I think. 2 million. Because he's only on 9 grand as well, so that's affordable. And he's a good young player that's either a backup or a starter to Della Valle. And we managed to lose a home game to Reading. So the games aren't going too well at the moment. As you can tell, we've lost 3 out of 4, I believe. But they have been hard games. the golfing class from last year to this year in terms of seasons and the leagues is quite high, especially being someone like Crewe. So I'm hoping we can just step things up a bit. We did get another win in the Capital One Cup, not where I want the wins to come from, but it is what it is. And as you can see, PSG accepted the offer for him, and we can go and try and get him on loan. I mean, loan? What am I talking about? Trying to sign him, and yeah, 68 rated for a 19-year-old. He's going straight in the team, head of Della Valle, get him on that training, and hopefully he'll turn into a right tidy player. And we somehow managed to win an away game against Brentford. So it's not put us on terrible points. I mean, we could do with winning this one, and that would help, and we did. So we've turned things around in terms of winning our last 2 games, and that's just playing through the transfer window. You can see some of the players being sold there. I believe Crewe's got a massive transfer. But that's come to the end. I know it was a bit of a longer episode, but thank you for watching and have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.